Well, we have another guest in the studio. We had Katie Moon, an Olympic champion, a little while ago. We've got another Olympic medalist in the studio with us now, a man who's won the Boston Marathon, the New York Marathon, the US Olympic Trials. He was US record holder at 10,000 metres. He's done it all on all surfaces. Welcome, Meb Keflezighi. Meb, it's a bit weird talking to a legend. I thought legends were supposed to be in the past, but you're right here with us now. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here at the Tata Mumbai Marathon. I'm just honored to be here and kind of see what you guys are doing. It's without a great field that there is, both men and women, excited to see the finish line.
Maybe you must be a bit torn because you're a man who still loves his racing, his track and field. You want to be out there watching this race, and yet, of course, you're being pulled from pillar to post this morning, I'm sure. But are you going to be able to follow the second half of the race?
Hopefully, I was the second half. I was at the beginning to send them off, but at the same time, it's just exciting to be part of the sport still. People think I can compete, but I'm not. I'm 48 years old. I'm okay with the past, and then now I'm glad to be on the other side, just kind of be a spectator for the next generation.
You ran your last marathon quite a few years ago now, didn't you? Was it 2017?
2017 New York City Marathon was my last competitive marathon. I was number 26, and I was just delighted. It started in New York, finished in New York, and a lot in between. Marathon is tough. There's a lot of demands, but it give you more respect even when you see others keep doing it.
But your first time in India?
Yes, it is my first time in India, and I'm excited. I have a lot of colleagues or friends that live in the States, so I've been to a lot of Indian homes. It was just great to be able to enjoy with them, and now to be here in person is fantastic.
Meb, there's the elite women's race on screen. They're on schedule to run around 2:23, which is would be a course record here. And the men's race, they've just gone through halfway in 63:36, so they are on schedule for something much faster than the course record at the moment. And do you still get excited watching racing like this?
Oh, I love watching people compete, and you can see. Sometimes you have to see who's doing the mechanics, the forms, and things like that. So you become very analytical, and it's just great to see both strong field, both on the men and women, and going to halfway point, like you said, is going to be hopefully negative split.
Meb, I was telling viewers earlier how your life story is a bit of a fairy tale. Born in poverty in Eritrea, went to Sudan, and then to Italy, and then to San Diego, where your sister was living, and now you're living in Florida, and you've become an Olympic medalist, and you've won big races, and you're a bit of a celebrity back home in the USA, quite justifiably. Do you have to pinch yourself sometimes about the way your life has gone from sort of zero to hero?
That's how Tim and Richard, it's great to be able to share my story, but yes, I have to pinch myself sometimes when I'm running, and the things that have achieved my family and I have achieved. Sometimes when I won the Boston Marathon, getting a call from President Barack Obama, it's like, is it really surreal? It's very surreal, but from zero to hero is that kind of, maybe sometimes I think about it. We come here with nothing in the United States, but we made something out of ourselves. So it's just amazing to be able to just share the stories, the uplifting story, the American dream story. And I feel, yes, I do pinch quite a bit of myself, and event to be here with you guys. I never saw TV till I was 10 years old, and I have to go behind the TV to see if the people were there, because it was amazing I'm mesmerized what was going on. So to be here with you guys now is just an honor.
But you've achieved your dreams, but it hasn't been without a lot of hard work. I mean, I think we've heard your story, not just yourself, how hard you had to work, how hard your father worked, and your whole family. So in that way, it's an inspiration for athletes that we're watching here today. This is the leading female Indian athlete, and I think to have you here with us and to hear your story must be inspirational for them.
Well, thank you. It's just so great to see the pioneers. The Indian sports is moving out quite a bit. It's with Chopra winning the javelin, and it's uplifting. You hear those stories, and for me, my dad has to walk over 225 miles to reach to Sudan, and then we were separated for 5 years. There's a lot of sacrifice and commitment and perseverance that life has to do, but a marathon is a metaphor for life, and I feel very blessed to have to run 26 miles as a specialist, but there's a lot of team behind the team to make things happen.
Interesting now watching the Indian men. These are the three leading Indian men in the marathon. They've still got their Kenyan pacemaker Alex Kibarus, but the three Indians locked together. There's Gopi T, and I think it's Kalkidas Hirave. So we've got a very interesting battle in the Indian men's race. Remember, Gopi T was the first Indian finisher last year, but he's got two other Indian marathon runners alongside him today.
No, he ran a phenomenal race last year, 16 something, and then it's just great to be able to see now he helped those other guys come because he's a target. He wants to be able to just compete against them, and it's just wonderful to see as competitive as well. You're friends off the track, train sometimes, but then when it comes on race day, you want to watch each other and encourage each other and support each other, and every man comes for his own on last mile.
Meb, we're sitting here in this air-conditioned studio. You've been outside for the last couple of hours. What's the temperature outside now? Is it still feeling not too bad?
Still overcast a little bit. This morning was a little nice weather. It's still great temperature, I think. And then the runners are, as long as they cool down themselves by putting water on their head, on their neck, on the palm of their hands, it's going to be okay. But marathons 20. Don't feel comfortable in the marathon because the 26.2 miles is 26.2 miles. But you have to be able to just pace yourself, be disciplined, and hopefully you'll be able to finish stronger as you go on.
Well, the elite women getting to 20k at 68.05, so they're still moving really well. Quite a big pack too in the women's race. So the men's race is gradually whittling down, about 5 or 6 in the men's lead pack, but about 7 or 8 in the women's lead pack at the moment. Predicted finishing time, well, the women's event record is 2:24.15, and at 20k the predicted women's winning time is 2:23.28. So they're looking some 45 seconds or so at the moment inside course record.
Yeah, in that group of leading women is Sofia Asifa running her second marathon here today. Also Abarash Faisa and Aynadis Tashorma. So they're running faster than they've ever run before. Their best time is around 2:24, and we're hearing that the predicted time at the pace they're running now at the moment is under course record pace, under 2 hours and 24 minutes.
As we see the leader in the Indian women's race, isolation for her now, and following that pacemaker, Rich, maybe is a good thing. She's tucked in there, a little bit of slipstreaming, and she can just focus upon maintaining her own form now.
Yep, Nirma Thakur Nirmaben, 26 years of age. She finished 11th in the Kolkata 25k just over a month ago. Best time for the marathon of 2:52. I'm sure she'll be hoping to improve on that time. And as you say, Tim, a big help for her having that pacemaker. Otherwise, she would be out on her own.
Well, back to this elite women's pack. They are moving well. They've gone through 20k in 68.05, so they're on schedule for something around 2:23.30, which would be a course record. That's great running here on a course like Mumbai, where the temperature's a little bit above what would be ideal. And of course, this is a race circuit with a big hill in it that has to be negotiated in both directions. But the pacemaker's doing a great job at the moment.
Yeah, the halfway split for the women is 71.40. So as you say, Tim, bang on for around that 2:23.20. So that would be almost a minute faster than Anne Charlem-Heimenot ran last year. And I think it's significant that Anne Charlem-Heimenot, last year's winner, is not in that leading group. So we've got Abarash Faisa, Sofia Asifa, Aynadis Tashorma, and about 4 or 5 other women being led by the 3 pacemakers. You can see there on the left of the screen the Dutch pacemaker Luc Maas, seeming as though he's controlling that group, but the 2 other Ethiopian pacemakers there also doing a good job, Dawid Balacho and Tilahun Amsalu.
Meb, the business end of both these races is gradually approaching. You've got a lot of Indian friends back home in the USA. What was it like experiencing the people and the culture here for the first time? I know you've been wanting to come to India for quite a while. You had a few days in Delhi before you came here to Mumbai earlier this week. What's your impression?
Oh, this is a fantastic state and country to be able to just enjoy the people. They're really into it, and sports is becoming more and more popular, and when they want to meet you, they appreciate you. They want to be an example to them. Some of them have seen me on television, and some of them by word of mouth, I guess you can say, but it's just encouraging to help me acknowledge that very outgoing people, and they want to meet you, they want to give you a gift, and it's just incredible people.
Well, back to the lead pack. They've just gone through in the men's race 25k in 1:15.22, and just looking at last year's split for 25k, that is over a minute quicker than last year when they set a course record, or at least Lemi Berhanu set a course record. So this is building nicely. There's still numbers there, Rich. I wonder if this means that they will start watching each other and maybe play a bit of a cat and mouse game through the latter stages, or if one of them will, take that risk and push on and try and accelerate away?
Well, not surprisingly, we're approaching the business end of the race. We've just got one pacemaker left in the race, Suleiman Vento. He's the one in the red vest right at the front, but the group is down to about 6 athletes. Haimanot Allo, the athlete coached by Tassama Abshiro, who's got that really strong group back in Ethiopia. He's right at the front. He's immediately behind the pacemaker. The tall figure in the black vest, Lemi Bahanu, the defending champion, he's still there. Kinde Atanau on Bahanu's shoulder in the blue vest, he's still there. So still a number of the favourites there. I think we've got one of the Kenyan athletes there as well, Kiptu, who won his last marathon in Vienna just 3 months ago. But it's a much smaller group as they approach the 25-kilometre point.
Music, colour, energy. Mumbai's got it all. We've also got Meb Keflezighi here in the studio. Meb, the race is just building up nicely. I know you want to get out there and see the last stages and see that sprint for the line, but what's your impressions of the racing so far? They're over a minute ahead of course record at the moment, course record schedule.
25K into it, to be a minute ahead is a great sign of what's to come, and to have 4 or 5 guys is good. It's going to help even be more competitive, to break down that time possibly. But obviously you're going to get it down to 4 people, to 3 people, and then see how the outcome's going to be. But tactically thinking, who's study their competition.
Do you still wish you were out there?
Sometimes I do wish I was there, but honestly, after the 2020 Olympics, I'm peace and happy. Before I was thinking, should I make a comeback or come out of retirement, but I'm completely fine now.
Maybe you've done your bit. It's been great having you here with us today. Thank you so much for what you've done for the event, for the city, and for what you're going to do over the next few hours. Thank you.
Thanks so much. It's such an honor.
And Meb, we've been talking so much about the running revolution in India. I mean, what have you seen having been here for a few days?
I think 59,000 change says it all. It's just amazing to have a 5K, a 10K, half marathon, and the full marathon. It's just how the culture is adapting to it and making extremely changes to be a healthy lifestyle and go outside and be active. You know, we all know they're smart people in terms of textbook, but now with the sports, it's just phenomenal.
Well, thanks so much for being with us, and also for the encouragement that you've given to so many people just by being with us over the last few days.
I'm just honored to be here. Thanks for having me.
Meb, thank you so much.